Okay, so buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a listener-submitted request that's, well, it's a doozy. We're talking about the lyrics of Reptilian Archon Massacre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you heard that right. Kurt Holes, everybody. Never heard of him.
Rings a bell, but
Yeah, me neither. But with a song title like that, well, let's just say he's not exactly going for subtle radio play here. And the best part is, we're going full deep dive on the lyrics alone.
oh, this is going to be good.
No music, no context, just pure, unadulterated words on the page.
Like dissecting a poem, but with a much higher chance of existential dread.
Exactly.
Uh,
Think of it like we're deciphering a cryptic message, trying to unlock the secrets hidden within these, let's call them imaginative lyrics.
I'm intrigued. Let's do this.
All right, so Reptilian Archon Massacre.
Mm.
Where do we even begin? How about with this line? Shadows crawl in the night, creeping up to the fight. Eyes cold, ceiling blue, they come for me and you.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're dealing with some serious darkness here.
Yeah, talk about setting the mood.
It's like you're immediately thrown into this world where something sinister is lurking just out of sight.
And you know they're coming for you.
Oh, absolutely. That they come for me and you. It's not just some distant threat. It's personal, immediate, like the listener is right there in the thick of it.
Totally, and that's just the first line. As we go deeper, it gets even more, well, Kurt Holesier, let's say.
Mm.
We start seeing words like reptilian, archon, even drones, tossed around like confetti at a very unsettling parade.
It's giving sci-fi horror, but with a dash of, I don't know, ancient mythology thrown in for good measure.
Right. It's like he raided a bunch of different genres and mashed them all together.
Exactly. So is this just Kurt Holes flexing his vocabulary, or is there something deeper going on with these words?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, I love a good thesaurus, but these words feel very deliberate.
I agree. They're not just random additions. They create a very specific effect.
Okay, so let's break it down. What about reptilian?
Well, that one's pretty loaded, especially in our current cultural landscape.
True. Very conspiracy theory-esque.
Right. It immediately conjures up images of, secret lizard people controlling the world from the shadows.
Which, no judgment if that's your thing, but it's definitely a potent image.
Totally. And whether Kurt Holes believes in that stuff or not, he's tapping into a very real fear, this idea that there are these unseen forces manipulating things, pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Right. It's like, who's really in control? And then there's Archon. Like, where do you even go with that one?
That's where things get really interesting because Archon has roots in Gnosticism.
Gnosticism. Now we're getting really deep.
I know, right? But basically, Gnostics believed that archons were these powerful but not necessarily benevolent beings who existed between humanity and the divine.
Like spiritual gatekeepers, but not the nice kind.
Exactly. They were often seen as obstacles on the path to enlightenment, testing humanity, sometimes even trying to keep us trapped in a cycle of suffering.
Whoa, so now we've gone from
That's every
shadowy lizard people to, like, cosmic puppet masters.
Right. It's like Kurt Holes is building this whole elaborate mythology, this battleground where the fight isn't just physical, it's spiritual as well.
Okay, so we've got the reptilians, the archons, the drones. It's a lot to unpack. But the lyrics don't just leave us cowering in fear, do they?
No, thankfully not. Just when you think all hope is lost, we get these lines, armies rise, courage in our veins, we break our chains.
Yeah, talk about a shift in tone.
It's like just when you're about to give in to despair, there's this surge of defiance, this refusal to be controlled.
That's like, we're not just going to lie down and take it.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message, especially given the themes we've already talked about.
Right, like, even when faced with these seemingly insurmountable forces, be they reptilian, archon, or otherwise, there's still that spark of resistance within us.
Absolutely. It's that classic underdog story, the fight against all odds. And I think that's something that resonates deeply with people, no matter who you are or what you believe.
Totally. It's like those classic stories, David and Goliath, Spartacus, Katniss Everdeen. They all tap into that same human desire for freedom, for agency. It's like, we may be afraid, but we won't be controlled.
Exactly.
But even with these really powerful themes, there are still moments where I'm just like, what is going on here?
Oh, totally. I know what you mean.
Like, take the line, "Moon white whispers, what's that all about?"
I love that line. It's so evocative, but also incredibly cryptic.
Right. It's like, is it literal? Is it metaphorical? Is Kurt Holes just messing with us?
Maybe it's all three at the same time.
That's the thing about art, right? Sometimes the best stuff is the stuff that's open to interpretation.
Totally. It invites the listener to engage with the work on a deeper level, to find their own meaning in it.
Like maybe moon-white whispers represent hidden truths or secrets passed down through generations. Or maybe it's just a really cool image that Kurt Holz came up with.
And that's the beauty of it. It can be whatever the listener needs it to be.
Okay, so we've got paranoid conspiracies, spiritual warfare, a battle cry for revolution, and we haven't even heard a single note of music yet.
I know, it's crazy. Imagine what the music adds to this already wild ride.
That, my friend, is the real mystery here. So if you're brave enough, go give Reptilian Archon Massacre a listen, and then come back here and tell us what you think. Just maybe wear a tinfoil hat, just in case.
Fan hurt.